It's easy to want change. You know, that real, that massive change. You want to change maybe your positivity, maybe your health, maybe your job, maybe your mindset. Yet somehow just your actions just don't line up with what you say you want. And here's a line from one of the greatest coaches in history, Tony Robbins. It's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, but what we do consistently. Your problem, it isn't the lack of desire. It's actually the lack of aligned action. You end up causing this vicious loop. You say you want more, but your actions are just stuck on repeating old patterns. Does that sound familiar? Welcome back to Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life. I'm Sanj, and I'm here in this short, power-packed episode to get you from stuck to unstoppable. In this episode, I'm going to give you some tips and techniques which you can implement today to help you get from where you are now to where you want to be, to help you shift your identity, to master your mindset so you can start mastering your life. If you get something from this episode, please let me know. Leave me a rating and a review. Let me know what your biggest takeaways were. Or if you are listening to it, just share it with me on Instagram at just.live.coaching. So today we're talking about how your actions are not lining up with what you say you want. Like, do you wake up every day with that nagging frustration? Like, you're running on a treadmill, but you're just not getting anywhere. You feel like a hamster in a wheel. You feel the shame, the excuses bubbling up. I'm too busy. Oh, I've got too many things on my plate. I'm too tired. I'll start tomorrow. But deep down, the real truth is that your actions are screaming. They're screaming that you're scared to be the person who truly shows up, who truly wants what they say they want. You want to believe that you're moving forward, but your actions are betraying you. That's a disconnect. And it's actually the silent killer of every single goal, every single dream, every promise that you've ever made to yourself. You're not lazy. You're misaligned. And until you fix that, you'll find that nothing changes. If you want things to change, you have to change yourself first. And it's very easy to think that you're lazy, you're broken, or even just not disciplined enough. Wrong. That's not the truth. That's just your surface story. But the real truth is that you're actually in the middle of a battle. There's two parts of your brain, your prefrontal cortex, your CEO. And this is your future focused self. This is the one that sets goals. It makes plans. It calculates your long-term play, your long-term plan. And it's a part of you that says, I want to get fit. I want to build the business. I want to show up as the best person I know I can be. I want to be the father, the mother, the parent, the best parent I can be. I want to be the best partner I can be. That's your prefrontal cortex. That's your CEO. But then you've got your limbic system, which is it's your emotional brain. This is just fast, reactive, and just obsessed with those short-term rewards. This is a part of you that says, after you've sat there and you've done 5 minutes of work, I deserve a break. Let me just put on one more episode. Let me just scroll for 5 more minutes. You know what? Actually, I'll just start tomorrow. And this is where it gets complicated, because every single time you've said you wanted to change but you didn't, it's never been because you're weak. It's because your limbic system has hijacked the wheel. And this hijack is so fast that you barely even notice it. And it's even got a name. It's called the amygdala hijack. And it's your survival brain pulling rank on your rational brain. It's your survival brain telling your actual CEO, you know what, don't worry, I've got this. And what that is it's giving you that tug towards comfort rather than having that discomfort. That's not you being lazy. That's thousands of years of survival wiring whispered in your mind. Don't waste the energy. Stay safe. Don't risk rejection. Don't risk negativity. Don't face the unknown. Because the problem is, the world we're living in today is not the jungle of thousands of years ago. You're not being chased by lions, by mammoths and all this, but your brain still reacts to an email, a workout, someone's gossip, or just starting a new project like it's life and death. And the problem is that's why you're feeling stuck. That's why you feel that war inside. It's not because you're broken, it's that your operating system has not yet been updated. So you need to make an identity shift. But the problem is most people live as victims of their impulse. They obey this limbic system like it's a dictator, and they allow it to run their life. But if you're listening to this podcast, you're not most people. Your brain is actually plastic, so it means every action you take can literally rewire your circuits. So every time you override that choice between comfort and discomfort, when you override comfort with courage, you actually strengthen your prefrontal cortex. Every time you choose growth over scrolling, you start laying down a new pathway. This is not a theory. This is actually biology. Habits are neural pathways which are carved deeper every time you repeat it. So identity is just simply the story your brain believes because what you have repeated. So if you've been living as someone who tries, that identity is just poison. Try is a weak word. Try is a permission to fail without any consequences. You don't try and be the best parent you can be. You are the best parent you can be. You're doing the best you can with what you know. It's time to lock in that new identity. You are no longer the victim of your impulses. You are no longer the victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of your actions. You are the master of your intentions. And that's the shift that you need to make. It's no longer going to be, I'll try. It's no longer going to be, I hope. It's going to be, I decide and I do. So this is where you need to start building a system just that locks in this new identity into your reality. Because it's easy to drift. It's easy to stay in that comfort zone. But if you make sure your intentions and your actions are aligned, you're going to start setting goals. You're going to start achieving them. You're going to start actually having habits that actually help you get towards your goal. You're no longer going to feel shame, guilt, and self-doubt because you're no longer taking the necessary action. So here's a 5-step framework that can actually help you start aligning your actions with your intentions. First thing, clarify your true why and dig deeper than motivation. Motivation is fragile. It burns hot first thing in the morning. It's like a flame on a barbecue. That first initial flame to start anything. It burns hot straight away but dies very quickly. But what keeps you moving is your why. Your why is like the coal on the barbecue. It keeps burning for a long, long time, and your why needs to be deep. Yeah. Neuroscience actually shows us that emotion drives action and logic sets direction. But actually, it's the emotion that pulls the trigger. That's why the reason you're doing anything has to inspire you enough to override any discomfort you may feel. So ask yourself, why do you really want this? Ask yourself, why do I really want this? Go 5 layers deep. Ask yourself why 5 times. You'll get the depth of your answer. Ask yourself, what will my life feel like when I achieve this? Visualize it with detail. Make it real. And then ask yourself, what will happen if I don't change? And then sit in that pain. Let yourself feel the cost. Write it down and revisit it daily because you're actually building emotional leverage. Step 2 is identify your leverage action. And this is the 80-20 rule on steroids. Most of your energy is wasted on busy work, but 20% of your actions will actually create 80% of your results. So what you need to do is you need to list your big goal, then identify the leverage actions. The few things that will actually directly move the needle. If you're writing a book, it's your daily word count, your weekly chapter outline, whatever. If you're getting fit, it's consistent training session, meal prep, sleep. If it's growing your business, it could be content creation, relationship building. Everything else is just background noise. All it is distractions just masquerading as progress. So your power is in saying, these are my leverage actions and everything else is negotiable. These things are not. Know what your leverage actions are. Step 3 is ruthless boundaries. Defend your time. Remember, your time is precious. Distraction is the enemy of your destiny. So your limbic system, it loves distraction because it feels good in the moment. But every distraction actually trains your brain to crave those shallow rewards. That's why your focus is actually a superpower. Set boundaries with it. Block time for your leverage activities. Non-negotiable. Kill your notifications. All of them. Say no, not once, not politely, but like your future depends on it, because it actually does. And something that you may find uncomfortable is that people who protect their time are sometimes called selfish. They're called selfish until they succeed. Then they're called leaders. So you decide what is important to you. Step 4 is daily accountability. No sugarcoating, no excuses. Accountability is not something that's optional. It's actually the mechanism of growth. So every night review what happened. What did you say you'd do? What did you actually do? And what are you going to correct tomorrow? It isn't about shame. It's about getting that feedback. And so this is actually self-regulation. And when you master it, you outperform talent, IQ and luck, because you can actually course correct faster than anyone else. And step 5 is own your results. Take responsibility. Yeah, the results are yours always, good and bad. They're not your bosses, not your parents, not the economy, they're yours. So when you stop blaming, you actually strip your limbic system of its favorite excuse, which is victimhood. When you own everything, you unlock power and you actually unlock a new level of motivation. Because when you've got a locus of control rooted in ownership, you have more resilience, you have more happiness, and you will have far more success. Remember, your life is like a compass. Your intentions are the directions and your action are the force. So without aligned actions, you're just spinning like a broken compass. You're dizzy, you're frustrated and you're lost. But when you clarify your why, when you lock onto those leverage actions, you guard your time, you hold yourself accountable and you own your results, your compass doesn't just point north, it actually pulls you there. That's alignment, that's power. And that is freedom. So I'm challenging you to audit your last 72 hours. What did your actions say about your intentions? Where did you say you wanted progress, but you took the easy, the comfortable route instead? Pick one leverage action you know moves the needle for your goals. And tomorrow, no matter what, you will execute that thing first thing in the morning. No distractions, no I'll do it later, no excuses. Drop me a DM, let me know what you're committing to. Or if you've already done it, let me know what the results were and how you feel. You need to be someone who decides to be great and backs that decision with relentless, aligned action. It's not a feel-good moment, it's a mindset shift. And when you start stepping into the role of someone who owns their intentions, owns their actions, if you're ready to keep that fire burning, then actually share this episode with one person who you know who's been lying to themselves about their progress. Because remember, if you need to actually if you want to start living the life you want to, you need to start taking the action that will get you there. You need to master your mindset so you can master your life. Thank you for listening. I hope you got something from this. As always, if you liked what you heard and you got something out of it, please leave me a rating or a review. Let me know what the biggest takeaway you had was. And as always, I'm trying to have a positive impact on this world. So if you could please help me by sharing this podcast with others, tag me in it on your Instagram at just.livecoaching. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.